Hi everyone, welcome back to another tutorial. If it's your first time here, hi, I'm so glad you're here. Please do stick around. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to make this beautiful designed beaded bag. This design is very easy to make. So guys, let's get right into the video, okay? So for this tutorial, we'll be using our spaghetti beads, and then we'll also be using our sugar bead, which will serve as our small bead. Then we'll be using our fish line, which is in 0.70, and then we'll be using our scissors. This is all we'll be needing for this tutorial. First, you cut out some line you're comfortable in working with. Then you pick two big beads and two small beads, and then you pass it through your line. One big bead first, one small bead, one big bead again, and then one small bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last small bead added. Draw that all the way down, and this right here is your first ring. To continue, on both sides of your line, you add one big bead each. One big bead each, one to the left and one to the right. Then you cross both ends of your line into another small bead. Draw that all the way down, and this would be your second ring. Now to continue, on your left hand side, you add one big bead, one small bead, and one big bead. One big bead, one small bead, and one big bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last big bead added. Draw that all the way down, and this should take you to the other side of your work. To proceed, we want to start a new row now, and on our left hand side we're going to add one small bead, one big bead, and one small bead. Then we'll cross both ends of our line into that last small bead added. Draw that all the way down, and you're having the first ring on your second row. To continue, our right line goes into the next bead. String your right line into that next bead there, and then on your left line you add one big bead and one small bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last small bead added. Draw that all the way down, and this right here is the second ring on your second row. To proceed, your right line goes into the next bead, and still on that right line you'll be adding one small bead and one big bead. On that same line, one small bead and one big bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last big bead added, and this will take you to your next row. Flip that over, and now on your left hand side you'll be adding one small bead, one big bead, and one small bead. One small bead, one big bead, and one small bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last small bead added, and this is your first ring on your third row. Your right line goes into the next bead. String your right line into that next bead, and then on your left hand side you're going to be adding one big bead and one small bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last small bead added. Draw that all the way down. Then your right line goes into the next bead, and still on that right line we're going to be adding one small bead and one big bead. One small bead and one big bead. Then we'll cross both ends of our line into that last big bead added. This should take us to the next line. Flip that over, and then now on your left hand side you're going to add one small bead, one big bead, and one small bead. Then you cross both ends of your line into that last small bead added. We're actually going to continue with this pattern of our right line going into the next bead, and then we'll do one big bead, one small bead. We've done 4 rows now. We're going to do that, continue that till we get to 17 rows. 17 rows, guys. Let's meet there, okay? So this is what you should get for your mat, and I have made 17 rows in all. And I also made the same thing offline, the same number, the same length, and the same design. Now we're going to join it together to form the body of the bag. So with a new fish line, we'll go through that bead right there. Then you pull it out, and then on the same line you add one bead. Still on that same line where you fix that bead, you go through the first bead on the other side of the bag. You pull it out so you have the bead in the middle of both sides of the bag. Then you pick one big bead and cross both ends of your line into it. Pull that all the way down, and this is what you should be having. Now to proceed, your both lines goes into the next beads. That is, your left line goes into that next bead there, and then your right line goes into the next right bead, and then you pick one big bead and you cross both ends of your line into that big bead. Draw that all the way down, and this is what you should have. You repeat same thing, both of your lines goes into the next bead. That is, your right line goes into that next right bead right there, and then your left line goes into that next left bead, and then you pick one big bead and you cross both ends of your line into that big bead added. Cross both ends of your line into that big bead added, and then you move on with the same method. So as you can see, we have the sides of our bag nicely joining up. So we're just going to repeat same method till we get to the other side, and when we get there, we're going to close with one bead just like we started. So guys, let's meet right there, okay? So this is what you should get after you're done joining both sides. As you can see, both sides of my bag are of the same design and it's nicely joined. Now we're going to make the handle for the bag, and we're going to be fixing it from one end to the other. So with the new fish line, we're going to go through that last bit right there, and then we're going to pull that out, and we're going to pick the big bits and fix them through both fish lines. Both fish lines should be out from each bit, as you can see. I'm going to continue fixing until I have 12 in all. If you want your handle to be longer or shorter, you can either add or subtract. It's your choice. So this is what you should have gotten once you're done. I have 12 in all, and now we're going to fix it in that last bead on the other end. We're going to crisscross our lines, the ends of our line, into that last bit there. The right line will come out on the left hand side, while the left line will come out on the right hand side. That's what we're doing right now. Once you're done with that, you're going to pass back the excess fish line into the handle, and then you pass it around to end your work. So this is what your work should look like. So you can either fix a lining and a zip in it, or you can just leave it that way depending on which you like. Feel free to increase the size of your bag if you want it big, and you can also make it in any color of your choice. Thank you so much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, and click on the notification bell, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.